Okay, so can we talk about Fani Willis for a minute? For the record, she's no relation, but I will claim her. Anyway, so if you didn't know, Fani Willis is the DA who is prosecuting Donald Trump on some charges down in the state of Georgia. And she's currently being accused of misconduct as it relates to the case because she was dating a guy that either she hired or subcontracted with or whatever. But I don't know enough about that to speak about that. So I'm not going to speak about that. What I am going to speak about is her demeanor on the hearing. Have y'all seen her?
You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
Check this out. So she basically rolled up in there and she told them, look, I heard you was looking for me. Here I go. And she proceeded to answer the questions in very, let me just say, colorful ways. Like, it was very clear that she was not for the bullshit. Fani Willis came in there to let them know, you ain't about to play with me. And regardless of what you think about the reason that they're holding the hearing, this is not what I'm speaking on. I'm not speaking on whether or not she should have had a romantic relationship with that guy. I'm not speaking about how it's okay when they do it, but when I do it, it's a problem. That's not what I'm speaking about. What I'm speaking about is her demeanor on the hearing, right? At the hearing. And so I've seen some feedback from people regarding her stance on the stand. I've seen her being referred to as unprofessional. I even saw somebody say that she was acting quote unquote ghetto. Now, if you know me, I promote, as an unapologetic Black woman, I promote Black women showing up unapologetic. Understanding, though, that we have to exist in these systems that are created not to fully embrace who we truly are. So when I saw Fani Willis on that stand, honey, embracing who she fully was, she said things like, I don't drink wine, I drink Grey Goose. And telling them about what her daddy said about money, because, you know, systemic oppression and racism caused him to tell her, you better keep that money on you. And that's the reason why she travels with thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, we got it. We got it. But she told them people, and her very general, ain't one with attitude, right? That's what I'm talking about. And now, this is where the respectability politics of it all comes in. So, this is my issue. The respectability politics of saying that this woman should not be able to show up as her unapologetic self because it doesn't look good, or she should do better, or why is she acting like that? Knowing, on the other hand, that these are acts that are applauded in our community. When we come together, it's all good, but the problem comes when we attempt to say to a professional Black woman that she needs to fit inside of a box that is suffocating so many of us. And yeah, I get it. There is some level of decorum when you're in different places, in different spaces. But the level of decorum is usually dictated by the majority culture. So when you see a Fani Willis or a Bozoma St. James who is operating in their unapologetic Black girlness, honey, I don't know about you, but I'm standing up and I'm applauding. I'm applauding. I'm not saying get back in that box they tried to put you in. I'm saying, girl, go do your thing, because who go check you, boo? Because you're showing up in excellence. So here's the thing. You can say what you want about the decision that she made, right, that got her there. You can say what you want about that. But her work and her knowledge is impeccable. She know what she's talking about. Check her receipts. And I think here's the sad reality that a lot of us don't get. A lot of us don't get that we opt into respectability politics with ourselves, with each other, is because of the influence of white supremacy. Let that marinate for a minute. Because see, white supremacy says to us that in order to fit in the agendas and the places that we've invited you to, you have to dull some things down, while at the same time allowing them to show up as they wish without pushback, without condemnation, without feeling like they have to rise above a set of stereotypes. And here's the thing I want to say as a Black woman. As a Black woman, I'm speaking to Black women who are in corporate America, who every day are holding and wearing the mask. You're wearing the mask that is stifling you, that is keeping you from showing up as your full self, who has you mastering and code switching. I get it. I get it. But imagine what your life would be like if you could show up as your full self without carrying the burden of disappointing the people because you are showing up as you and you're not fitting the checkbox of what they might perceive as acceptable. So for those of you who are looking at other Black women in this way, who are kicking out of the box, I say, stop tone policing Black women. If you want to talk about what she did, the decision that she made on its merits, great. But to continuously perpetuate the narrative that we have to be 4 and 5 times better in order to be seen as equal, well, I'm not saying that's not true, but I will say it's harmful. It's a harmful trope. And it's a setup. We cannot show up in corporate America being super Negro, saving all the people with our fancy assimilated ways to the detriment of our true selves without facing an impact for doing so. The truth is, you can't tout Black girl magic and then tell us to hide it in front of company. And for companies out there, did I mention I'm a corporate trainer? You can't ask for or tout diversity without doing the work of being inclusive. Because diversity, with the expectation of conforming, is the antithesis of inclusivity. So put that in your DEI pipe and smoke it. So in summary, the way that Fani showed up, I'm here for it. Be you, girl, but back it up with integrity, right? And maybe she should have waited before she started this relationship to stay above reproach. But also, the consequences for that in an equal world would not be a public trial. But how she shows up, as she does her work in excellence, as her unapologetic self, is a case study in how we should comport ourselves when it comes to taking off the mask and opting out of the code switch that switches off that part of ourselves that makes us lose our true selves. So anywho, I know somebody's going to comment on this and say, but she shouldn't have never slept with that man. Or if only she hadn't done that, she wouldn't be here. Listen, I get it. What I am saying, though, is there's nothing wrong with how she showed up on that stand. She was giving it to them how she was. And if we could all be that true to ourselves and who we are, the better. Because here's the thing that I know. White men get on the stand. They get to yell. They get to scream. They get to emote. They get to do all of these things and still get voted to the Supreme Court of the United States. Easily. So let's not hold each other to these higher standards, because these higher standards are what other people expect for us to jump over as a hoop of acceptance. Let's create the spaces where we set the bar. Because the Black girl magic is magicking, and there shouldn't be a light dimmed on it. Not one bit. Anywho, my thoughts on Fani Willis.
Thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes. Be back in 5.